Hello everybody, Unicronobot here, and here's another video review, and today we are looking at the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Now then, I know with the original RID Bumblebee, a lot of people really missed out on him. Don't deny it. I did too. Because he is possibly one of the most overused characters lately. But for good reason. He's the character used to attract the kids in. But yeah, I was extremely on the fence about getting this guy because, like I said, I really did not like the original at all. I didn't like it, so I never got it. And like this, for me to be perfectly frank with you, this is my first Bumblebee. Because again, I thought he was a completely overused character, so I thought of him to be useless shelf fodder. But but also, me and Lexitron had a deal that one of us would have to review the Starscream, and one of us would have to review the Bumblebee. I jumped on the grenade and took the Bumblebee because I'm not touching that Starscream with a 7-foot pole. But being said, now that I have him in hand, I am terrified of him. Now, I don't have the original to really compare all the new moldings on this guy, but I've seen him enough so I could give you a general idea. The hood's been lowered down to give him more of a sleek profile, completely remolded. A lot of things are remolded to have a nice armored look. Completely remolded hood, the spikes, obviously, spikes everywhere. And you'll also notice that it's really hard on mine, but there's what they're doing with a lot of these deluxes, especially with the remolds, is they're doing this marbleized paint. With Bumblebee, they chose this orange. So on some, it looks like he's bursting into flames. So you could especially see it right here. But it really doesn't exactly work with this stuff on it. But yeah, some of it looks like he's in flames. Mine, it's not strong enough to really be anything more than that. But yeah. Seeing this guy, he is not Bumblebee, at least not anymore. He is death. He looks like he's something pulled out of the Death Race movies, as terrible as those were. And guess what? This is him without even all of his weaponry. So here he is, and here he is with all of his arsenal on him. And remember when I just said that he looks like something pulled out of Death Race? This verified it. Not only is he decked out with spikes, but he still has his dual weapons from the original RID, so he has 2 guns on his hood. He has 6, I repeat, 6 missiles. 2 on each door, and 2 on his crossbow. And if you want to make this look even more threatening, you could spread this out so that he slices through semi-trucks when he's driving next to them. Now, everything about this guy is terrifying. This mode is really like... It really reminds me of how the weaponized Transformers in the Dark of the Moon series looked. And don't get me wrong, I thought that was a terrible movie, but this really has that weaponized, I am ready to kill people look. Now, like I said, I don't have the original Bumblebee. This is my first Bumblebee, so yeah. So I could really only compare him to other members of the Prime line. For those of you who still haven't gotten other Beast Hunters, here he is next to the original RID Wheeljack. Like I said, he's the exact same size as the RID Bumblebee, only with all the new add-ons. One thing you'll also notice, I've noticed this when I also got the Wheeljack and the Optimus Prime. They have, on the wheels, they no longer have the silver pin in them. They're pegged in. And to put him next to a Predacon, here he is next to the Deluxe Laserback. Obviously, Laserback's bigger in Dragon mode. But that being said, let's transform this guy. And let's just take all this arsenal off. Transforming this guy, aside from tilting these forward, is essentially exactly the same as the RID Bumblebee. What you gotta do is, you gotta break this down and bring it down like that. Split the legs. Turn this all the way out. Turn this all the way out. There you go. And then, what you do is now you bring down the arms. And here's a good thing, when you bring this back, I remember hearing in a lot of reviews, a lot of people were complaining that the automorph gimmick on the RID Bumblebee didn't work because his head would come at this weird angle, and it would be looking down. This works when his head's not caught on the crest really well. So for those of you who didn't want it because of that, the gimmick works now. So be happy about that. And then let me just bring down the hood back here. Bring that down. Split the wings. And here, and let me have him looking right at you. And here we have Bumblebee in his robot mode. And it is in this mode that once again I am left with fear in my heart. He looks totally different than his original mold. It's weird. These are one of, like, with these figures, it's one of those moments where you really don't see the remolds until you actually see him in hand. And I could say the same about the Wheeljack too when I review him. This dude has a lot of differences. These, obviously, the spikes, the paint apps have been changed a lot on him. But if you and you've probably already seen this in all of the reviews, but there is one thing that is just downright scary about this guy. And it's the eyes, those terrifying. It's just how the face is sculpted. It's just the lowered brow, the mouthpiece, and then the eyes. The eyes that no matter where you turn him, he will be looking right at you. Yeah, when I first got this guy, I literally spent a good 3 minutes just trying to get my face away from his gaze. This dude is just scary. Everything about this guy, it's like, okay, he's not Bumblebee anymore. We're just calling him the Hornet of Death. He's the Hornet of Death. And this is just him without the weaponry. Let's add some of that gear to him so that you can get an idea of what he does. Now, with this crossbow that it seems that almost all the Transformers are getting in this line, or some form of bow, he comes with this, and any of the missiles actually work in it. And yeah, so also, fair warning, this spring on this is incredibly sensitive. I simply tap it and it fires. But I'll be honest, I really don't like having him hold it as a crossbow. Actually, thanks to another reviewer, TJ Omega, I've actually found that you could, with imagination, you could peg it into his arm. If it will fit, jeez. Yeah, these spikes get in the way sometimes. Come on, come on! But yeah, you can do that, and if you want, you can take the missiles off, but you can give him a battle claw, making him even more terrifying, because not only will he have that, but if you have him hold it like that, you could have him hold this, and then he has a 4-barreled gun in his other hand. Everything about this dude is just downright, he's coming to hunt you down and murder you. He is the Punisher of the Autobots now. He's no longer the lovable kid scout. He is just here to slaughter you and take your scalps. That being said, with all the weaponry on, his articulation's a little limited, especially because I've found that mine, at least with mine, the pegs don't entirely fit well into these, so whenever I try to move him, they actually fall out really easily. Articulation, his arm can go all the way around. It will move the wings, though, if you try. They can go in, out, and the armor itself here can actually go up and down. Nothing at the waist, but good range of motion in the feet. He has also like a little foot movement right there. His head is on a ball joint, but because of the angle of the ball joint, he can't exactly look up. He can really only look left, right, and down. But even then, he won't escape your gaze. You won't escape from his gaze. He will continue to look for you, and he will continue to find you. Now, for a size comparison, here he is next to his other Beast, the other Beast Hunters Deluxes from his line, aside from Soundwave. Here he is next to Wheeljack, who is about the exact same size as the RID Wheeljack. And here he is next to Laserback. And as you can see, he is the shortest of the bunch. And are these guys worth it if you're able to find them in the right places? I know that on occasion, TJ Maxx sells Transformers Prime figures. I've seen them sell Dark of the Moon deluxes and stuff. I've seen them sell Dark of the Moon leader classes for $20 and deluxe and Voyagers for $10. So deluxes would roughly be about the price around $7. So if you find them there, definitely grab them. If you go to Toys R Us or a Walmart or something, you'll most likely see these guys for about $15 to $17. It's hard for me to say if these guys are worth it, but with Bumblebee, since this is about him, I will, and Lexatron is going to hang this over my head forever. I would recommend this Bumblebee. Mostly because, whereas the other Bumblebee was just a shelf filler and meant to be for kids, this one was made just to scare the crap out of the children and make the adult collectors laugh their butts off. Because this dude is just funny. Even with his terrifying eyes, this dude is just a really funny figure, and I don't know, like, there's just something about him that has grown on me. When I first saw him, I was absolutely livid. I didn't want to touch it, but now that I have it, he's grown on me, and I kind of like him. So yeah, I say yeah. I give this dude a yes. If you see him, yeah, I recommend him. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me, guys. This is Unicronobot. I'll talk to you later.